Well, hey, we're live just as I was scratching my nose. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Monday Night Live. Thank you very much for joining us. So for those of you that may not be aware of how we do things around here, first 10 minutes are going to be me saying hello to some people in chat. So if you are in chat, let me know where you're from and let's have a little hello session. So that's just for the first 10 minutes. If you're watching this on replay, just fast forward it the first 10 minutes and then we'll get into things. We've got a bunch to talk about tonight. Some interesting stuff. I've been working hard this morning and well all day today about various bits and bobs that I will go into, but we are going to be saying hello to people. Then we're going to be talking about some TPD stuff. Then I'll show you a new mech that's coming, talk about some Basium stuff, and then we'll get into the sort of questions and answers and chill out with Mr. Todd. So let's see who's in chat for the moment, shall we? So then, I'm just going to start. Right, I'm vaping on the Basium with the D Pro Mini 22 and Dreamer Mech with the Cali, says M16. Bonjour, M16. Donna Pepper, stop squonking. How? I will tell you momentarily. Loris is in with the hello. Darren James, hi all. Did he write? No, that wasn't even to me. Righto. Let me scroll down a little bit. Lois is still going to the yellow mod. Bless her cotton socks. The patrons had an option of purchasing a limited edition yellow Basium. That's why you'll see those floating around. So, Alex McKenzie from the Yellow Mod Crew. Hello from North Carolina, USA, says Miguel. David Mottram is in here. Neil M is from County Durham. Cuz Steve is in from Catterick. Neil Thomas from Swansea, thank you very much for joining us. Isn't it? But yeah. Phil Marvel from sunny Scunthorpe. I think that's what Scunny is. Shinto Ketchup, fantastic name. Hi to you as well. What we got? Fran Haig. Hi, how are you doing? That was a bit of a weird, freaky, stalkery hi, wasn't it? I didn't mean that one. Sorry. John Lamoureux. I think I said that last time, and I think I was right. I could be wrong. Jackie Reynolds, Lois Ashton, Jonas Linden Jonas is in Sweden. Louis and Nicolette. Is it pronounced T, Louis? I don't know. Darren James from Bristol. Reese Evans, even Dino, watching from the comfort of my bed. Well, nice to keep you company in a private time. I feel slightly weird now. By the way, I've not had a little sleep halfway through the day today, so the brain and mouth function could be. Anyway, let's carry on. Hi from Steve and Helen, my favorite couple. How are we doing, Steve and Helen? I hope you're doing well over there in Rugby. Sick Boy is in Pennsylvania, USA. How you getting on? That's nice hair and chroma. It's flipping hot here in my office, even with the fan running. So let me know if you can hear the fan running in the background. I am rocking at 27.4 degrees Celsius, which is only going to get hotter now I've got the lights on. So that's going to be a joy later on. So I'll apologize in advance for the sweaty forehead. I will try and not get sweaty man boobs. Right, what else we got going on? Well, down the chat just went a little bit crazy. Here we go. Let's move that down. Bill is in from Greece. Fran is in Chesterfield. Viv, Yellow Mod Army here. Please say hi to my brother Matt too, will you? Yes. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? I hope you're well. And Viv is giving you lots of cups of tea. Andy Fairchild is in from steamy Bristol. Oh. Campbell's in. How are things? Alrighty. Yarp, says Dr. Repedikoff, which is still a fantastic name. Sub Biker from Portland, Oregon, says Cameron Edgar. Johan is in. Bonjour, Johan. I don't know why I said bonjour. I think you're in Sweden, aren't you? I know in it. Steve's got his Basium ordered today. That's good to know, Steve. Thanks very much. Hootsmon, it's Brobrecht. Moonlicht nicht. I can see Mr. Todd in the shadows shaking his head at me. Hi from bloody warm Solihull, not France, Dino. There we go, M16. Right, what we got going on? Hi, Biker, love from Iceland. Thank you very much, Billy the Kid. Hello, Dean, says Roy. Hello, Roy. Are you over in sunny Yarmouth still? What else we got going on here? I'm in Russia, says Sergey. So privyet to you, Sergey. JTH Reviews and Todd's saying hello to both me and Todd from KY, USA, Kentucky. We came over that one last time, I think. I think we said it was Kentucky, so let's go with that one. Colette is still loving the Bastion, which is what we like to hear. Getting my mod tomorrow. Fantastic, Eddie. What else we got? Hello, Dean. Happy Monday to you, sir. Happy Monday to you, Rob Davis. Hello from Dublin, says Redman. Hello to you as well. Donna Pepper, Bristol, UK. Is that a couple of people in Bristol, UK? Should we get vape meet? Just let's get vape meets happening around the country, and then a bunch of people can watch them in a vape shop, watch the Monday Night Live in a vape shop with beer and vapes. That should be a thing. Let's make that a thing. What else we got going on here? Hi there, Max from Stuttgart. All right, Max, how you doing? John Lamoureux. I'm all right, buddy. How are you? I hope you're well. Alex Bilvin. Let's go with Bilvin. Sup? Hey there, I'm looking forward to the Bastion, buddy. Good stuff. Hopefully you get it soon. Zach Stone, yo, Dirty South. Okie dokie. Does that mean you need a shower, or are you in the south of a country? Isn't it, boyo? Says Neil Thomas. Halifax, Nova Scotia says good evening, and Norwich, Norfolk, England says good evening back. What else we got going on? Hit the thumbs up and show some love. That'd be nice. Thank you very much. I think I worked jolly hard. Let's have some more thumbs up, shall we? Go on. Why not? Why not? Fanos? What? No, not even saying hello to me. Hey, Dean from Sunny Nottingham, says Ben Mackimson. Rick Mason, yo, from Royal Wootton Bassett. Hello, Rick. What else we got? I'm trying to not let the chat up so I can't see what I'm doing. Checking in from Salt Lake City, Utah, USA. That is Utah. UT, isn't it? Utah, USA. Salt Lake City. I'm sure that's Utah. What else we got? I don't know if you're here or not, but hello to you. Oh no, there we go. He's not even saying hello to me, just saying hello to Todd. Right, fair enough. Jacob, good evening from Denmark. Hello, Jacob in Denmark. Aisha, Map, hi biker. Hi, how you doing? Hey, Dean, East Petersburg, Pennsylvania's here. Pennsylvania, even. Enjoying the beginning of my first week vacation. Congrats, Alban. And I hope you have a wonderful vacation. Holla from God's County. So you are in Norfolk also. Then Sam. Hey Dean, I'm from India. All right, Sushant. Hopefully I've said your name right there. Thank you very much indeed. Evening all, greets from York, says go. SP4NGO. Sup, mate, says Simeon. What else have we got? Yeah, Nicolette. Yes, with a T. Fuck yes, I got it right. Go on, son. No, I said a naughty word right at the start. That's got to go. Hello from Darkest Cornwall, says Richard D. Cresswell. And hello to you as well, Richard. Woof. Woof, my chat's just gone. Woo. What else? Can I try and catch up? No. What out in Fizz in bed? What out to Fizz in Bedford? Not a clue. Not a clue what you're saying there. Yes, 808. Hello, Dean and Todd. Hello. Hi, Dean, all the way from sunny Middlesbrough, says Andy Vickery. I had a splendid time in Middlesbrough when I was up that part of the world. Good evening, Lord Basium of Squonk. From the reasonably warm banks of the Clyde. Fantastic. Right. I think we are pretty much. Let me just have a quick look and see if anyone's put at Vaping Biker at the start to help you see it. Berry hot. Ideal for this weather. Nice to be able to finally catch you live, Dean, from Phoenix, Arizona. Dave 8 from Tunbridge Wells. James Capozzi. Greetings from Virginia, Hazazita. I think we've got some new names in here tonight. Fantastic. So I think jobs are flipping good and right. Kevin K's in Honolulu, Hawaii, and Nutchunder is in as well. How you doing? Right, good. So, and we got someone else from Hungary. Hungary vacation. Roman Prekop. Good, lovely. MTN Tom's in as well. Lovely. Used your calls recently in a review. So let's get into the meat and taters of this vlog, shall we? So as I said, what we're going to do is we've got a couple of things to cover. Now, generally, I don't get too involved with TPD stuff and advocacy stuff and all that because it's boring and turns people off. However, this is kind of pretty relevant. Not only, and I apologise for my rather 80s look, but I've got water on my hair and I'm so hot. That's why I'm wearing this t-shirt. It doesn't fit very well, but it's one of the thinnest t-shirts I have. And you didn't need to see me in a vest tonight. Nobody needed to see that. So yes, so this and yeah, sorry. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, it's not a sexy topic, but we're going to have a little bit of a chat about the TPD because a lot of groups on Facebook, a lot of forum chats and all sorts of things went a little bit bonkers over the weekend because the MHRA released the July newsletter and it had something quite worrying in it, which we'll go into shortly. After that, I've got a new and very weird mechanical mod to show you, so I'll be looking forward to doing that. Haven't had a great deal of stuff in this week, and that's absolutely fine by me because I've got a big old review queue to catch up on. And then we will have a little bit of information about the Basium for you over there in the States. So that's all happening. Let's get into it. So let's start with the TPD stuff. So what happened over the weekend? Now I'm not going to be looking at chat for the moment, gang, because I've got to try and screen share things and stuff, and this is gonna be so technical. This is not going to work out well at all, but we'll give it a go. Fuck it, we'll give it a go. I think this is going to be the first one. Okay, so this was part of the July newsletter that came out over the course of the weekend. Now, this is what caused people to have a lot of concerns. Now, we'll just skip squonkers for a second and we'll look at the tanks above 2 mil. So products found to contain non-essential elements that temporarily alter the maximum tank size, such as plastic bungs, plugs and bungs, will be subject to review if currently notified. Products found to feature a maximum tank capacity above 2 mil will be removed from the published list. So obviously what we're talking about there is a lot of the tanks we're getting at the moment, a lot of the rebuildables are meaning that we get sort of bungs in them to give it a 2 mil capacity, but I think we all kind of understood that was going to go horribly pear-shaped at some point in time. We knew that we weren't going to be able to carry on just doing a really sneaky little, behind-the-scenes thing forever. So we knew that was coming. So I think that's something that people kind of were expecting more than anything else. Now then, the other bit, and this is the bit that kind of got people's knickers in a twist, and this is all about squonking. So when it comes to squonkers, these products do not meet the requirements of the regulations if supplied with a squonk bottle, reservoir, or tank by any other name with a capacity above 2 mil. Any refill containers supplied with a squonker must comply with the associated regulations. So we'll go into that in a moment. There is a bunch of information there that you can read as well, but the MHRA would like to remind submitters that notified compliant products cannot be packaged with non-compliant accessories. So anyway, that top piece was a bit the bit that kind of got people getting themselves all in a tizzy over the course of the weekend, and understandably so. Am I too dark now? Am I too dark? Let's just brighten things up just a hint. Okay, so yes, so let's just break that down for a second. So when it comes to tanks and things like the intake are absolutely going to be affected. Any tank that has a larger than 2 mil capacity, but this so far hitherto has had a plastic or silicone bung inside there to reduce that internal capacity, and potentially like sub-ohm tanks with extra large kind of coils to take up that extra space, unless those coils are individually registered, would also be relevant, to this legislation. So that's going to cause problems. So any tanks exceeding 2 mils with a removable bung to try and flip round the regs are going to be out of line right now. So that's not going to be a thing. Now then, one of the other aspects about this, one of the questions, or one of the things a lot of people will say about this is, well, surely you can sell like a bubble glass or extended tank, a glass or chimney and all that sort of stuff, sell that separately. Well, we had this discussion a little while ago when there was a discussion about RDAs and the regulations around RDAs. And part of that, I've got a note here, what from the TPG said, more generic parts such as washers, O-rings and screws, which are necessary for the functioning of the device but are not characteristic elements of electronic cigarettes, could also be deemed to fall outside of the scope of the reporting obligations foreseen under the TPD. Now, what that means is essentially if that product has another use outside of vaping, like a screw or an O-ring, then it doesn't fall under the guise of the TPD. If it's something that is integral, so when it comes to a tank, that glass is just going to fit that tank. Or when it comes to, squonk bottles with especially like proprietary bottles, if that's just going to fit in there, then that causes problems. But when it comes to the tanks, we can't. So it appears that they've thought of that one already, and so there isn't an opportunity to just add the extras for like an after sales purchase. So that's going to be problematic. So where we've previously had access to this kind of stuff, it's quite possibly going to get found out now and cause us not to be able to have it, which is quite worrying. Now I'll address can you buy from abroad in a minute. However, this morning, obviously, I have got a horse in this race because obviously we've got the Basium. So I wanted to find out exactly what was going on. So what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to kind of just listen to hearsay, listen to Facebook and all that sort of gubbins, and then kind of myself have a device that didn't do what it needed to do, and B, be able to sort of relay to you incorrect information. So I ended up having a 40-minute phone call with the head guy at the e-cigarette bit of the MHRA this morning, and we covered quite a bit of ground, and I think it's undeniable that the whole situation doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you're going to get a squonker, the idea of getting a 2 mil bottle would if your mouth's lung in it, maybe you'd be okay. But for anybody that uses a 24 mil RDA and pumps a little bit of power through it, then 2 mil's not really going to cut the mustard for you guys. So I wanted to drill down with the MHRA exactly what was going on, how the law reacted with that, and what they were really focusing on. Now, essentially, they are treating squonk bottles exactly the same as a tank, which is ridiculous. You know this, and I know this, but that's what they're doing. We can't change that currently. So, because it's being treated as a tank, it means that 2 mil is an absolute maximum capacity. We can't get away from that. However, I did ask for the gentleman to clarify just 2 points for me that I could share with you guys. So I'm going to share that and I'll be able to show you the email that I sent as well. And so hopefully we can have a little bit of a discussion.
do I show up? This would be awesome if I show up and he doesn't. Right. Todd's Reviews, toddsreviews.com. That you want to go there, and then you'll see my YouTube channel, and then you subscribe. You get me more subs than Dean.
I'm back.
I'm not here. I'm not here. I was just making sure everybody was okay.
You are a superstar. Thank you so much.
Okay. Have fun.
Now, why not? You may as well stay. You may as well stay for this because I'm nearly finished.
Am I still here? Or
yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just in a wind up. I was stealing all your subscribers while you were away.
Oh well, that's fair enough. I can't really argue with that. I'm really dark again. What's going on here? Right. So I'm going to try and share this page again. I hope you're keeping an eye on chat because I lost all my windows. All my windows just went off you go. I've got an extra sweat on now that I just don't need in my life. Right, hang you. Oh, hang on. I've just got. No. That's fine. Right. Oh God, professional. Right, here we go. I might bugger off again. Oh no, there we go. Good. We are good to go. So, presenting to everybody. Keep an eye on chat for me, Mr. Todd. So, dear Dean, please find the response to your questions below. My question was, if a squonk mod is notified and then imported and sold as a product that does not contain a bottle of any size, is it regarded the same as any other mod with no tank or RDA, therefore does not have any negative implications on its own? That is correct, he says. A squonk product can be notified. We'll come to that in a second, provided the product does not include a component with a maximum capacity exceeding 2 mil. A component with a maximum capacity above 2 mil should be removed prior to the supply to the UK market. So then I went on to the squonk bottle. A squonk bottle exceeding 2 mil would not be allowed as it has a greater capacity than allowable in the TPD regulations, which have so far been interpreted by many people as being only applicable to tanks. Therefore, the bottle itself would need its own notification, which would then require the bottle to have labeling and warnings as a normal 10 mil juice bottle does currently, or as a refill container, and would need applicable notification, packaging and warnings. In either case, it would not be allowed to be marketed as a squonk bottle for the use with squonk mods, and this is if it's in excess of 2 milliliter. Unfortunately, we cannot provide advice. Not provide advice regarding the retail, supply and marketing of the squonk bottle itself. The information in our newsletter was provided to submitters to address the incorrect notification of these products. Products notified with a 2 mil maximum capacity would be subject to a review where evidence is provided of a higher maximum capacity. We will continue to work with submitters in order to maintain the notification status of squonk product, and have recommended the removal of squonk bottles as a practical solution. Only the courts can interpret the statutory legislation with any authority. This advice is not intended to be a definitive guide to, nor substitute for, the relevant law. Independent legal advice should be sought where appropriate. Oof. So that was a fair lot to get yourself around. Now then, I'm just going to get rid of that. And is there lots of people screaming in chat?
They're all saying very nice things about you.
Are they?
Yes.
But they're not. Right. So this is where we're at. When it comes to and I will look at chat in a moment, but this is where we're at. It seems as though, I'm super bright again. It seems as though you cannot have, for sure, you can't have anything over 2 mil. Okay, so 2 mil, either tank or squonk bottles are just not happening. We're not playing with those. They're not a thing. So we can just count those out, discount those in the UK. Now, so what does that mean to squonkers? Squonkers can, according to the discussion that I had and according to that email, can be sold without bottles, with no bottles whatsoever. So that's they are still available. Squonking is not dead. As much as everybody lost their minds over the weekend, squonking isn't finished. But that's kind of the situation when it comes to bringing stuff in. Now, does this mean that for those people, those shops that have stocks of squonkers, does that mean that they have to then take the bottles out of that packaging? Quite possibly. And I guess that's something where they would have to, sort of a shop would have to ring up their local trading standards and find out what their ruling is on that. But as far as it goes with importing and all that sort of stuff, you may well have significant issues if you're trying to bring stuff into the country exceeding that 2 milliliters. Now, I said earlier on about talking about stuff coming into the country. Now, I know that UPS has been really, really tight. I've had contact with UPS when I've had packages coming in, and I've been asked whether what the products are, and are they TPD compliant before they would deliver the products. So I think that it is going to be, standing. They shouldn't be stopping, as far as I know, and Mr. Todd, feel free to jump in on this one. As far as I know, they shouldn't be able to stop stuff coming into the UK because of our trade agreements and all that sort of goings. However, depending on which country it's from, however, some of these couriering services and some of these postal services are interacting with it and interpreting it as such, going, if it's not TPD regulated, it ain't coming in.
You're absolutely right. I'm the same as you. UPS are the only other one that I think FedEx might have been investigating that kind of stuff as well. I think they're another possibility.
Yeah. So that's gonna cause problems. So what options do we have? Now, I'm not offering advice here. I'm not qualified to offer advice. This is something that has to be done from a legal body and all that sort of stuff. What I'm going to tell you is just my opinion based on the situation that we have currently. So if there's plenty of companies that sell bottles. There's plenty of companies that sell empty unicorn bottles just like this, which you can go and buy, the Plastic Bottle Company and various others, where you can go and buy empty bottles. They're not specified for vaping because you can put whatever you like in that. You can put eye drops, you can put, I don't know, you can squirt hot water on your bottom if you want to, because that isn't for a specific purpose. Because of that, it obviously isn't covered under any TPD. So if I built the stacked quadruple 21700 mod, I could use one of these as a squonk bottle, which would be, immense. I think we'd all agree. But it's not covered because it has a separate purpose. Remember, I told you earlier on about the O-rings and the screws and all that sort of stuff. If a product can be used for something outside of vaping, then it should be allowable. Now, it can't be included in a kit. It can't be included with a squonk thing. And if this was sold as a 60 milliliter squonk bottle, then that would be relevant to the TPD because it's a vaping product. However, if there is a plastic product, if there is a product that is available for use outside of vaping for other things, then that falls outside of the TPD legislation. So that means whatever you want it to mean. But I think a number of people probably have an idea about where we're going with that one. Basically, if you say that if you have a bottle, if I was selling you this and said it was a squonk bottle, it would be a TPD thing. If this is sold as a plastic 60 ml bottle, it's a plastic 60 ml bottle for whatever use, then fucking boom, have some of those apples. So that's the thing. Now someone said in there about giving it away free. Same principle. It's like you can't. I still couldn't import a Basium anymore, in theory, with a bottle and just give it away for free, because this and the Rage and every other squonk mod that is in the UK now essentially shouldn't be. It should be under the TPD regulation, so it shouldn't have a bottle. Now, the concern on this one is obviously how quickly that's come across, because at no stage would anyone in their right minds think a tank is the same as a squonk bottle. But, you know, the MHRA seem to think that we would think that was the case. So, you know, I'm not offering any advice in any way, shape or form. This is just the information that I found out today from the horse's mouth, so to speak. I didn't want to go through hearsay. I didn't want to just read Facebook posts and things of other people. So I wanted to speak to them and be able to show you that email with that interaction with the MHRA. So do with that as you see fit. I believe that the only way, after my chat, the only way that this would ever change is if there was a legal action to put in place to change this particular aspect of the legislation, and that would be something that, you know, the supporting bodies we have, like the people like the IBVTA or UK, whatever they're called, various people, or Which Magazine for Consumer Rights or whatever, would have to kind of pull together and say, right, let's fund this because it makes no sense and it's completely illogical. But that is the only way, I was told today, that was going to get changed. So that's my experience. If you're unsure in any way, shape or form and you own a business, I strongly urge you to contact the MHRA yourself. You can call them up, get an email address, and then bang them an email, and then a lot of the time someone will call you back. Also, I would suggest speaking to your local trading standards to find out what their take on it is as well. So there we go. Hopefully that covers that. What do you think, Mr. Todd?
Yeah, I'm just reading some of the chat here, and some of the sites are saying, you know, obviously there's sites, I'll not go into companies and whatnot, where you can buy squonk bottles from. Going on what you're saying is that if those sites, say within the UK, are selling these bottles and they're marketing them and stating that it is a squonk bottle, then basically they're faked.
That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like, because it's for a vaping product and therefore going to be taking in nicotine potentially. But
all they really have to do is just remove any reference to squonking from that listing.
Well, I would imagine so. But like I say, that's a super grey area in itself. I mean, can you say squonking because that's a thing? But you know, why would you need to? Do you know what I mean? If it's a 6 ml bottle, anybody that squonks knows what a 6 ml bottle looks like, you know.
I think it's also worth mentioning, I know you've mentioned this many times before, mate, is that the TPD applies to the whole of the EU, but it was like a framework, and every country basically interpreted it differently and implemented different parts of it.
Very much so.
That's why in Germany you can have like 10 mil RTAs and things like that, but you've only got 2 mil. So every country in the EU is slightly different.
And in Germany, you have to have you've got the massive capacity open to you, but you have to give them 6 months warning in advance of products, don't you? As far as I know,
it has to actually go through testing.
Yeah,
it has to be certified. So it's not just a 6 month notification. That actually has to be tested. That costs them money.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean that's kind of where we're at with it. Squonking devices by themselves can be sold, but just not with bottles. So if you've got your own bottles, then you are fine and dandy as long as you've got a device that can accept other bottles as well. So, you know, jobs are good. But like I said, do with that what you may. That's the information that I got, and I worked then with Dovpo and came around the solution that we are going to implement. It means that we've just got to develop a couple of bits and bobs to help people along with that one. So I can't give you any sort of finite information on what we're going to do. But no, like I said, if you're unsure about it and you're a business, an importer or whatever, contact the MHRA yourself, and we will see what we can achieve. There may be a case. Sorry.
I do feel sorry for you know yourself. Luckily, you're ahead of the game in this one. But people that are designing squonkers that use proprietary bottles,
yeah, it's going to be awkward. It is going to be awkward. Not insurmountable, I don't think, but it is definitely going to be awkward. But you know, hopefully we'll figure out a way of getting through it. Now, the one thing that I've got to look into a little bit more, not for what we're going to be doing, but these Geek Vape bottles, when you get these have the TPD packaging on them, don't they?
Mine's came straight from themselves. I never had any stickers on mine, mate.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know. So I need to find out how these get sold, because that's something that I couldn't get answered today. But no, otherwise, that's pretty much where we're at. So we're not having squonking stopped. The mods are fine. It's just they cannot include the bottle in the sale, in as much as in the box and all that sort of stuff as part of the kit, in air quotes.
The thing is, I mean, it shouldn't really come as any great surprise. I mean, with, you know, when the TPD first kicked off in the 2 ml bottle, the whole reducer thing for, you know, big tanks, you know, that was a sneaky one. The squonk bottles, that was a sneaky one. So it was going to come at some point.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it is jolly awkward, because when I spoke to the MHRA today, he said, "Well, it's always been there," and I'm like, "Well, no, it hasn't." He said, "Well, essentially they're tanks." Well, no, they're not. And so we've always known that squonking is a grey area, but as far as the legal people are concerned, that's always been there. That's why it hasn't needed to have an amendment put onto the policy. It's about how it's been interpreted by these people, which is shocking, really.
Yeah.
And a bit of a nightmare. Now, I know Lois has asked, what about exporters, UK modders selling to people outside the UK? I think that's going to be an awkward one. Now, are UK builders going to? You know a lot of the UK mod market, Mr. Todd.
Yeah.
As far as I would imagine, stuff should be able to go out as long as it's not going to another EU TPD country.
As long as it meets the thing, that whoever's buying it, they have to make sure that what they're buying in meets the legislation for that company, that country.
Yeah, absolutely. So stuff can go out. It's just what comes into the UK that goes horribly tits up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's our understanding on that, as far as we know. And just label the squonk mod not for nicotine use. No, that's they're obviously going to figure that one out. That's not as cunning as some people may think. Daniel Thornton, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Very kind of you, sir. Very kind, thank you. So there we go. That's that sort of situation. Now then, here's something else. Nathan asks, when we leave the EU, we can make our own rules, surely. Well, that all depends on whether we have a hard Brexit. So is it March next year that the Brexit situation is supposed to start? Or kind of go through, which we're obviously completely unprepared for. If we had a hard Brexit, there may be a possibility for sort of campaigning to have an alteration to that legislation, because it is UK law now. It's not something that's, you know, just under the EU banner. It is something that the UK has fully adopted. If it's a slow process, if it's a slow exit, whatever it's called, then we could potentially have exactly the same as we've got now for another year. So come March, it could be March 2019. So you know that it could go on for much longer, and that's what I was told on my phone conversation earlier today. So it's not brilliant news, but it's not, I don't feel it's insurmountable, not by any stretch of the imagination. I think we've still got options for people that have stocks of squonkers at the moment. I think, to be honest with you, the safest thing to do would be to have a discussion with your local trading standards and say, explain how the MHRA in their July newsletter, whether, it was the first time that they specified squonkers, certainly the first time that I'm aware. If that's the case, then they may give you a grace period for selling the stock that you currently have. Failing that, the option would then be to take the squonk bottles out, out of the packaging. But there you go. So that's something for you guys to kind of work on with. But I wanted to get as much information as I could for you guys and for myself as well, as I said, because I've got a horse in the race. So I wanted to find out as much as I can, but I didn't want it to be kind of all kind of cluttered. Just so and so said this. Dave down the shops reckoned that. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at. that's where we're at with that one. Good. I think I have covered that about as far as I can cover it. Did you see any questions in any of that I should probably answer before moving on, Mr. T?
No, I mean you pretty much covered it all. I mean, a lot of people are just don't understand what they're trying to accomplish with the whole 2 mil thing.
It makes no sense. Zero sense
at all. Yeah, it's just it, as you would say in your own fine words, it's a thing, and we just have to do what we usually do in this country and find a way around it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With vaping's not going anywhere. We just have to adapt. That's all. So jobs are flipping good, and we'll get there, gang. It's not the end of the world, but it is something that you do have to be aware of. And the more companies that just flounce the rules without doing any of the homework or stuff themselves and just listen to Dave down the pub, then the worse state we're going to be. So, you know, if you are a business, take control of that. And then I personally believe that there is going to be a case to move forward, because unlike a tank, I can drop this and it's not going to shatter glass and juice is going to piss everywhere and all that sort of malarkey. So you can lift it upside down and it doesn't drip out juice. This, in my opinion, is very, very different to a tank. And I think there may be a potential to be able to campaign against the inclusion of the bottles, not exceeding 10 mil, because 10 mil is obviously the maximum you can have of juice. But, you know, in its own right, whether that's a thing or whether they can have a sort of a special dispensation in the TPD, whatever that means. So I don't know what you can do at the moment. I guess, as always, what anyone can do is you can find out your local councillors and all that sort of stuff on, what was that? There's a website, and I'll try and remember what it is, where you can find out your local councillors and all that sort of good stuff. And it's always good to keep them on point when it comes to vaping. And the more kind of information we constantly get out in a nice, constructive, educating way, the better I think we're going to be as a group, you know, as a thing, as vaping. So you can always contact your local councillors and say, this is happening, and this is what vaping means to me, and this is going to make people's lives a lot harder. So just want to let you know and see how that goes. You'll probably get the response back of, oh, think of the children, but at least it's keeping that information out there. If we just do a mail shot once every 3 years, then that's not going to keep things fresh in the minds of these people that make up these laws.
You could always start a petition.
Petitions are pointless, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody sends me a petition to say sign this so we can have 10 mil squonk balls, I'll ban you, because it does do nothing. You need at least 100,000 signatures to get it even sniffed at by the government, and then it has a million different aspects to go through before it can actually go to any level of changing the law. We've tried it in the past, it's not got anywhere, and so it's a huge waste of time. So we can be more constructive by telling people our stories, by educating the public, and not being a bad representation of vaping, in my opinion. Right.
well done, sir.
I'm knackered now. That wasn't too preachy, was it? I was trying to get the information out there and not fuck it up. So I sounded
no. Maybe if you repeated yourself a few more times, it might sound a bit more convincing.
Cut your hole, look. I'm tired. Right, look, I've got one thing to show people, and then we can talk about stuff that we both know about, which I'm kind of into. This, I got a new little mech mod come through from Evolution Vaping till the day. I think it was on Saturday. And that is this little puppy right here. Now, this is the worst named mechanical mod I've ever known of in my life. This is called the Killer Gun, which is terrible. I think it's by a company called History Mods, and I've got the Bonza sitting on top of there. But let me just take this RDA off the top of here for a moment, and I can show you the size of it in comparison to an 18650 battery. And there we go. So that's the size compared to an 18650 battery. So it is absolutely tiny as you like. It's really, really dinky, which is pretty cute. And it's made exceptionally well. I believe this is about £100 thereabouts. I couldn't see it on Evolution's site when I did look earlier on, but I think this is around about 100 quid. Oh, I'm still out of focus. But one of the things that I thought was interesting, there's no fire button under there, which confused the piss out of me for a little while. I unboxed it for the patrons, and I thought, I had ever such a trouble, because I thought, well, do you tilt the thing like that mech mod that you had recently? Do you twist it? Do you do whatever? And then I realized, why have they got a really weird shaped ohm symbol on the top there? And then went, that's the switch. So what you've got is your battery goes into this little brass "How's your father" there, and then that goes in there. And then you bend in this little piece of metal that goes on there. You've got one on each side, so you can pinch them both together, or you can grab it in your hand like a thing, you know.
How does that go? Do that again.
I was just doing it to make sure you were watching, and press away. Now, what I will say is that to press these sides in, that's some thick metal, so you do have to press pretty damn hard. But it's have I got juice in there? I think so. It does work like a champ. I've got a little, I put this coil in here the other day, and I've just got a little spaced coil, so it's nothing particularly cloudy or anything along those lines, but it's a bit of a beast. It does pump out the old voltage, shall we say, and it goes a bit weird. So, stupid name to one side. It's kind of a funky mod. What do you think of this?
I quite like the look at the mod, but I hate the name.
That's terrible, isn't it?
I hate the name. But no, it's quite smart.
Just missed the monster cloud then, but no, I think it's all right. The only thing from a build standpoint, the threads are all gorgeous on it. The only thing that's a little bit rubbish is the paint on the underside there. You can see that we've got kind of a big old dollop of paint going on right there.
No, really?
There, which that seems a bit weird. The one in the middle I can kind of understand, but that kind of dollop going on there, I don't know whether I can survive without trying to pick that off and then wrecking the coating. But no, I mean, otherwise it's a fingerprint magnet, but it's a funky looking little mod for something that's a little bit different. So I will be reviewing this at some point, and we'll give it a darn good testing.
Yeah. Raphael Costa's saying, have you seen, is it Bestia or Bestia?
I have. I think those guys have a side firing kind of aspect, a thing that looks like a pen thing.
Yeah, it's kind of similar.
Yeah, same sort of principle, I guess. So yeah, I think it's I can see that's going to be the popular way of firing some mech mods moving forward. I think we're going to see more of that kind of fire, because there's no springs, there's no magnets, there's nothing like that. It's just a straight touch on touch. What I think we're going to see an improvement of, though, is when you press this in, obviously it's still quite a small surface connection for that power to run through. So I imagine we're going to see kind of flatter aspects. I don't know what the Beastie is like, but it's going to be able to kind of transfer that power through there sort of really economically. But no, all in all, I mean, it's a bit of a beast.
I mean, that's it. The mod I've got here is working as well. It's just an outside contact.
Yeah,
it's working the exact same way. It's a very, very different mod, but I'll show you it in a minute.
So that's it. Now I want to talk about the stuff that you've got. No, hang on. No, before we do that one, just a quick one. The Americans, if you want a Basium and you're over in America, then I believe that the American distro or the American people in Oregon, I think, no, Atlanta, I don't know, Florida somewhere, I think. Is it? I don't. Anyway, Atlanta. I'm sure it was Atlanta. I could be wrong. Received all of the mods on Friday. They then sent them out to the distribution people that I have on the vapingbiker.co.uk webpage. If you go to that one and look at the where can I get the Bastion posts, then you can see some stuff of the Americas over there, and they should, I believe, have those by, if not before Thursday. So if you really want one, there you go. You can go and crack on and go and treat yourself to one. But thank you to everybody in the UK that has gone out and bought one. I have been absolutely astounded by the reception on social media, how quickly shops have been selling out of them, and all that sort of stuff. So thank you so much for every one of you that's gone out and gone out to get one and is enjoying it. So there we go. And you're enjoying yours these days, Mr. T.
As I say to you most nights, I still don't like it, but I still use it every night. It's come back to bite me firmly in the ass, that one. And I'm not saying that just because we're on here and chatting away, but I did say that it's really not my kind of thing. But I have been using it. It's the mod that I tend to take indoors at night when I'm testing a squonking RDA. It's just because of the battery life, and I've got a Geronimo bottle in there, so plenty of capacity, and it does the job. Look better than carbon fiber, but there you go.
Hey, shake your face. Although you can go and get a carbon fiber wrap from Zap Wraps if you really want to. These wraps do look good. I will get some at some point and throw them onto a couple of mods and see what they look like. But they look like they're pretty spiffy. So tell us about your week, because I've only done one video this week, which was a live review of the X RDA from VXV. Which is an interesting little RDA, and I'm still chewing along with it. But what have you done, and what have you had in? Anything good? Tell us all about your nice goodies.
I shall keep this. I'm not doing the small far away thing, Sinistral, so you can stop it. I'm going to behave tonight. I'm going to behave. I'm going to be good.
I think everybody on social media has gone, it's really small. So it's okay. I'm okay with it now.
Right. First things first, this one, you've got this already, but that came in today for me, which was the Spade, the DNA 75C, and as you rightly said, you pointed out, the only thing that I can find a niggle with so far is that when you make the selection in the DNA 75C menu, it goes red, so you can't. You covered that already, so you're absolutely right, and it's bloody nice. It really is.
It really is.
But so that came in. Also, you're in the Cloud Laboratory Facebook group, aren't you?
I am not. I am purging Facebook at the minute because if I could join groups as Vaping Biker, then I'll be in way more. But because I have to join groups as myself, I then get inundated with people most of the time with their own private profiles, but want to see what I've had for tea. So I try and keep my personal profile separate from everything else. So I've come out of a crap ton of groups and all that sort of good stuff. But anyway, carry on. That was an unnecessary story you didn't need to know.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I kept my eyes open the whole time. There's a Facebook group called Cloud Laboratory, and basically a lad on there was designing 3D printed mods, and but he just designed the mods. So you would go into Shapeways yourself, you would pick the mod, the finishing, the materials, and so on. You would buy the parts you needed from somewhere like Mod Maker, and then you made it, and they were all switch fets. He's now come out with a mechanical one. So I've ordered, well, it just arrived today. So the shell just arrived today. I don't know if that'll show up properly.
It looks like a posh one. It looks like one of your posh expensive mods. Hang on, let me just put the camera on you. There we go.
Yeah, so that's just the shell that came from Shapeways today. And you can order it in any color you want and different materials. And this is a mech, so I'm waiting on all the parts. I ordered a kit from Stealth Vape. Rob's doing the parts for the mech. So that'll all come. So it's a nice way of doing it. It's a nice way of doing it. So I think it's going to be another week before the parts, but it's basically going to work out. I mean, I think that cost about, posted to me was, I think it was about £35–40, and the contact kit I got was possibly another £30.
Is that printed with aluminide?
No, that's not. I think this is a nylon. I should really know that, but I didn't come prepared. Sorry.
It does look like it's a really nice finish. I got to say that one.
The print quality is excellent. It really is excellent. So I'm looking forward to throwing that together. I also got something from a gentleman in I don't know if I showed you this last week, a gentleman in France. It's called Le Spring, the spring, and it's this.
That gives me the element.
That gives you the horn. So that's a Springbok horn. That's what that is. I've got the intake on top, the Vape Mic Vapes intake, and that's basically your firing button there. So you're just it's a mech. You just push that there, and just.
I think you said, I don't know whether you said it on one of your live streams or something else, but you did your background on that one to make sure that, you know, no unnecessary animals were harmed and all that sort of good shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's no, I mean, it's, well, anybody that goes, you know, yourself, well, if you go hill climbing or up in the hills in Scotland, you'll find deer horn and whatnot lying about. You can pick it up.
About hill climbing.
So,
is that what we're saying?
Just don't.
Just harsh.
Don't. I'm just, yes, it's a raptor claw, actually. It's a raptor claw. But it's really, really smart. It's unusual and quirky as hell, and I love it because of that. And the only other, yeah, I've got other stuff, but interesting stuff is the BAM. This is from Big Apple Mods in America, and that's all Ultim. I picked this up secondhand, and this is, if you go on the Facebook group, you see the guy that makes these actually throwing it about a car park. I mean, just hurling the mod, bouncing all over the place. It's solid. I mean, it really is solid. And obviously, if you don't like Ultim, it's possibly not for you.
Yes.
Yeah. And on top of that, I have the Drop Solo with one of the top caps, because it comes with two.
I think I've got one. I think, did yours come with DHL?
No, UPS.
Oh, bugger. Right.
No, it was DHL. You're absolutely right.
Okay, cool. Because I've got one, but because I was doing all the MHRA stuff, I didn't get a chance to unbox it for my patrons today. So it's still all wrapped up, and I'm looking forward to getting involved into it and seeing what it's all about. But I'll do that tomorrow for the patrons. So $10 patrons and above, don't forget, I will be unboxing probably around lunchtime tomorrow. Anyway, crack on. What's your thoughts on it?
Thoughts wise, it's basically like half the deck of a solo. That's pretty much it.
It's half the deck of a solo.
Yeah, it's a single coiler. Well, it's primarily a single coiler.
Half the deck of the drop, then.
Yeah, even that as well. So I was thinking of the drop dead. Sorry, which we'll come on to, no doubt. Yes. It's a 2-post. I'm getting a good vape from it. I'll leave it at that just now. Cool.
The only thing I'm slightly tenuous about, I've not vaped it yet, is it just looks like that single coil is a mile away from the airflow. But I'm looking forward to seeing it when I do actually get mine unboxed.
You're absolutely correct.
Right, just to go over a couple of things in chat. Someone asked, Vaping Bigfoot asked what chip's in the Basium. It's a proprietary chip, and the whole board is something that we've designed to, or, you know, Dovpo did most of the design work. I just did the layout. But to be super economical with batteries and all that sort of good stuff, and super simple. So It's not a generally available thing. Hazazita says Zabasium is now available on My Freedom Smokes. I think that's myfreedomsmokes.com. Just ordered one in stainless steel. So there we go. So someone in America does have it already. So jobs are flipping good. And I thought I saw another one. No, I don't. I don't know. Any update on the Bonza 1.5 or the Bonza Mech? No. Sam is the man. Mr. Bogan's the man to get all of that information from. So make sure that you are following him, Nut Chunder. Right, good. So, have you got anything else, or should we get into stuff?
A question there was with that Le Spring. The reason that I'm vaping it so much with the intake is that I can leave it lying on its side and it doesn't leak.
Yeah,
because anything else, it does. I don't know. It does actually come with a holster for it, which is made out of cobra.
I tell you what you need. Are you coming to Expo? Because if you are, you need a holster with that in one side and one of them Viking horns in the other for drinking with. You know what I mean? That'd be cool laugh. That would make me happy. Right now, I do know Dino Evolution Vaping is now out of the green. Oh, there we go then. Now I noticed someone asked earlier on for to show the doors, so I think this will be a little fun thing for the people in chat to get involved with. We will show the doors of our VT75C Vicious and Spades, and you can tell us which one you like the look of the most. So do you want to show your door?
Does that mean I have to put it in focus though?
Yeah.
I see that. This
is all going to be about who's going to win. So if you want me to win, then crack on. But hey, look at that! Look.
There we go. There's mine. There's mine.
So you got some red going on there and a bit of a swirly kind of lavery looking thing.
Yeah, there we go. That's mine. That's mine. Let's see yours then.
Right, mine and focus is that sort of situation. So we've got a kind of a blue, kind of galaxy-esque kind of vibe going on that one. And this one, I don't know if yours does it because it doesn't come across on camera, but those lighter parts have got the same sort of shine that the abalone sort of has. It's got that sort of twinkly sort of look to it.
Yeah.
So there we go. Blue or red? Vote now. You
cleaned yours before you put it up as well.
I only wiped it against my big fat belly.
Ah, that's fine. That's cheating. I never cleaned mine. Mine was covered in fingerprints. I demand a recount.
Yeah, that's me. I win. So you suck. You've got a couple of pity votes for the red, but the blue wins hands down. There we go.
No, there's plenty there. I'd just like to point out that anybody that voted for Dean, when I put mine up for sale for half RRP, you can all get pumped.
Now, thank you very much for your input in that one, gang. So here's something else that I want to talk about, because your review on this went up today, and this is the Drop Dead, because I think you have slightly different opinions on this one, but similar but slightly different. So what do you think about it, or do you just want to tell people to bugger off and go and watch your review?
No, couple of things. I prefer the Dead Rabbit.
Yeah.
I think the Dead Rabbit 24, I actually think the Dead Rabbit SQ is a better RDA than that one.
Yeah.
And it's purely because I think that the air holes, considering the height of the RDA, the overall height and how much juice you can get in there,
yeah,
I think the air holes are just too high. I think they should have made it shorter. And I think the airflow that is supposed to be angled is just, it's not. And it's, I'm not saying that it's I don't think it was a money grab. I think it was taking the ideas from two RDAs and combining them. I do get that, and I get where they were going. But
Yes.
for me, I don't think it's a better RDA than the two that made it.
Gotcha. And that's where we're slightly different, only slightly. I tend to agree with you to some degree on that airflow, but remember we disagreed last time. I think, was it on that Amit thing, the Amit RDA, which yes. I said the airflow shouldn't work, it doesn't work, and I don't like it, and you were like, nope, it works and it's fine and I like it. We're the other way around on this one, I think, because on the original Dead Rabbit, and this hopefully will kind of highlight what we're both saying when it comes to the to the airflow. That inside section that kind of guided the airflow, for what it's worth, pretty much covered that whole slot, if you like.
Yeah.
However, the difference is with this one, and you're not going to be able to see this because I've not got any light behind it, but this the angled section really only covers that top row of air holes. It doesn't. You can see. If I've got an idea. Unless my coils are in the way, in which case this is all going to be horribly pointless. But we'll see. No, coils are in the way. Oh, fuck me sideways. No, coils are in the way. But when you used to put, oh, hang on, focus. When you used to purge on the Dead Rabbit, if you got the angle wrong, it would just throw a load of vapor into your eyeball, which was always fun. But when you purge with this, it goes straight out. And if I go sort of over the top, you can see that it doesn't come back at all. So that to me tells me that the angle of the dangle isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Now the difference between us is that I am getting a lovely vape from it. I really enjoy it. I'm getting loads of flavor from it.
Yeah.
And I think it's way smoother than the Dead Rabbit because you've got that diffused airflow in those 14 holes, is it?
Oh, I agree with you in that. I mean, I did say that in the review that, yeah. It's very, very smooth. I'll also say to M16 Skills, who's saying that my coils were too high, if you listen to my review, you would hear why I had the coils so high.
Absolutely. The thing is, what you have to remember, people watching, is that although you'll see us, when you see me or Mr. T build, that is not the first time. This isn't the first rodeo we've ever been riding on. So we have put a fuck ton of different coils through it, and we've put those coils at different heights, different widths, different stuff to get where we go, to get the opinion that we've got. We're not those people that'll just throw in a coil for the first time and go, boom, here's a review. So because of that, just bear that in mind. Anyway, carry on, Mr. T.
No. I mean, like I say, and that's the thing. And it was, oh God, who was it on my YouTube comments that raised a good point? I mean, a lot of people seem to think that just because I gave an opinion saying that I didn't like it, that is just my opinion. And that's a great thing because we are very, very different when it comes to vaping.
Absolutely.
So your point of view is possibly going to be very different to mine, but it doesn't mean you're right. It doesn't mean I'm wrong, and vice versa. It's just two different people's interpretation of something.
Absolutely. Although 68,000 people will probably reckon that I'm more right, but you know. But no, I mean, I think it's pretty well made. I like the look of it. I like the vape I get off it, and I really, really do enjoy it. And I don't think I've got anything too special. Oh no, I have got something special in there at the moment. But I like the fact that I didn't really understand what was going on with the stops when I first got it. When I put the first build in it, I thought, well, what's the point of the stops? Is that just to help you be able to get the top cap off? And then I realized that if your coil is off to one side or something like that, or if you're, dependent on what's going on when you close your airflow down, you can then rotate the barrel so you're still hitting the center of the coil, which I thought was actually a really clever move. I thought it was really good.
It's that, and that's it. I mean, as I said, I mean, there's a lot that I like about the RDA, but I just get a better vape from a Dead Rabbit than I do from that. So but once again, that's just my take on it.
Absolutely. I've never been a huge proponent for the airflow being influenced, because you're sucking as opposed to blowing.
Yeah.
So it's very dependent on how hard you're sucking as to whether that's going to go kind of, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think in this kind of thing, I mean, it's the coil, the juice and the wattage play a huge part in it, a massive part in it.
Yeah.
As it should do.
Yeah.
M16 Skills says, I mentioned it because Billy Heathen said it. Yes.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's the thing. It's I've been in trouble from one or two reviewers that have had products in the past and saying that I didn't do things the way that they would suggest that I do. But, you know, as I said to them, and as I said a minute ago, it's had a fuck ton of different builds in it prior to that review. So, you know, there's been a lot going in there. But no, I think it's good. I think it's good that you and I have these differences, because we're polar opposites when it comes to the sort of stuff we review sometimes. And I think that's a healthy thing, because it represents.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, there's, I say and you say and constantly say in reviews is that never go off one person's opinion.
Exactly.
Never. Especially yours.
Bullshit. Harsh. Peter says, does the Dead Rabbit top cap fit the drop dead? And I imagine that he's kind of discussing whether like the brass and the copper caps, the butcher and the other one, would fit on top. I've not tried it. You're not going to. Oh,
that'll be my keyboard and mouse just going for a Barney. I'm really sorry, folks.
So yeah. Oh, Kimmy Vapes is in. So, hey, Kimmy, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much for the Basium review. Go and check that out. All of the reviews of the Basium that have been out so far are all on that Vaping Biker page that I mentioned earlier on. That'll tell you where to get your Basiums from as well. So you can go and check all of those people out, which I think is good. Now then, are you doing science?
I am.
Good man.
That's a no.
No.
Yep, it's a no.
Fair enough. So there we go. No interchangeable top cap on that, which is a bit of a shame, because that would have been pretty cool if you could put the butcher cap, for instance, on top of this. But they might do some other ones themselves, I guess.
No, it's because on the caps for the Dead Rabbit 24, you've got a lip.
Yeah.
You know, that comes in, so the notch that's on the top of the Drop Dead deck just catches it and stops it going on. Gotcha.
If you're handy with a Dremel, I imagine you could probably make something work. Maybe, possibly.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you could, and it would make so much sense. I mean, that's just. I'm not saying that. Look at me, just to prove a point. But if that shows up, is that going to show up?
Yeah.
Look at the difference in height.
Yeah.
On the air holes. I still maintain that if the air holes on the Drop Dead were just took the top row and put it down below the bottom row, then I think it would have been so much better. But that's just, once again, that's just me. Rattling my gums.
Cool. Now I was thinking more of the regular top cap, but that has more of the angled airflow. Same sort of principle would apply there, Peter. So hopefully that answers that question. Kimmy's loving the Basium. Great stuff. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Steve Clark's just become one of my Patreon crew. Thank you very much, Steve Clark, for becoming a patron. Hopefully, I am going to be focusing now. Like I've said a billion times, I'm not going to keep going into it, but I had so much time invested in the Basium stuff. Now it's finally released. I can pretty much get back into doing stuff, and I'll be doing a bunch of kind of not giveaways as such, but very close to being giveaways and stuff for the Patreon people, because YouTube isn't a fan of it these days. So, you know, there you go. Does the top section of the top cap on the Dead Rabbit fit the Drop Dead? No, that's a question and a half, isn't it? Hang on, I've got them here. I'll have a look. I can't get. I'm having troubles. No, the airflow is not going to line up. So no. Oh no, the airflow might line up. Oh, right. Hang on. You crack on. Be interesting.
Just no. Can we all just sit and watch you?
No.
No, because you're looking for a vape grip.
It's too hot. I'm too sweaty. When I was younger, I used to think, you know what? When I get older, my sweaty hands will all calm the fuck down, and I won't have to worry about it anymore. That didn't work.
Oh, here I meant to ask you, YouTube stuff, the reviews. Are you putting their links in the descriptions?
I am at the minute. I don't know whether I'll continue. No, it doesn't fit. By the way, gang. There we go. So, I do put links in the descriptions at the moment, although it is a bit dodgy. It is a bit dodgy, and that's I don't know. I don't know how kind of I can't get the dead rabbit off my fucking thing now. Yeah, so I'll probably continue to do so, to be honest with you. If not, then you just have to specify where it came from in the review, but we do that anyway.
Yeah.
So there we go. I think that answers those. I'm gonna have to order a Bassian before they nick the squonk bottle. Go for it, Jackie. Get in there. Good. So what else we got? Have you got anything interesting that you want to cover this evening?
Do you know, I'm desperately looking about here, trying to find stuff, and yeah. Oh, here. No, that will interest you. What else did I get? I got a new RDA from Vapor Skull Customs, VSC Customs out of Japan.
Wait, now look. I can't remember, but if that's a group that I followed on Instagram like a week ago, because I was very excited about their mods, I'm going to be very, very, very frustrated.
Oh, is that their mods that they've got the fancy engraving coming down it?
Just show it.
Well, no, it's their RDA that I've got just now. I know they've got a new mech mod out as well. I reviewed that mech mod about 3-4 years ago.
And they got Squonker.
I'm pretty sure he did a Squonker as well at some point. But it's basically it's the decks. A lot of it's black Ultim.
Oh.
And media blasted stainless steel.
Yeah.
It's very similar to what we've seen before, deck wise. You know, it's nothing. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's a lot of stuff coming in. Like, I need to stop saying yes to stuff like that now, because it's just these decks are just getting so similar.
Yeah, it's great having all these single coilers come in, but they are all much of a muchness now, aren't they?
Yeah. I think the Neofet 2 from 60, the Neofet 2, the Neo 60 from 67 Mods. He's done a little bit of redesign on this, on the internals, and I think they're growing up in the group very, very, very soon. Really, really like this. Yes, it's a DNA 60, but that doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's a nice, small, regulated mod. It's actually almost the exact same size as the Spade. Well, I didn't actually realize that. It's not as wide, but it's... Oh, okay, there we go. I did spend some time, and look what I polished.
Oh, look how you actually cleaned something.
Yeah, I cleaned something for a change. I cleaned my Beagle. Yeah, I'm proud of that. Yep.
It's still awesome. Oh yeah, that mod's brilliant.
And that, yeah, I got juice. I got sent some juice. I reviewed a link to you at the end of it. What was it again? Defiant Designs. I did the Defiant Design stuff.
Yes.
Which, well, it's well screwed together.
Yes. Yeah. I think I took mine apart. I took the DS apart when I did my review and showed how to strip it, and it's well done, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very well done. But Absy at Custom Vapes, he sent on a pile of juice as well, which not my kind of stuff, a bit too sweet. And I got another RDA from. I think I might have said this last. Konoko. I keep forgetting how. Conkyo mods. It's a tiny little thing.
Oh, yes, you showed us that last week. Hang on, let me put the camera on you for those that didn't see it last week. It is dinky af.
Yeah, I mean that's tiny, tiny wee thing. So that's I'm quite enjoying that. But other than that, that's all I've got, buddy. That's all I've got. Rick, my batteries are charged. Thank you very much. That's actually the batteries for my Beagle, all 4 of them. And somebody asked earlier on what charger that was. That's the same as you, the Dragon.
Yes, X-Star Dragon Plus, I think it's called, isn't it?
Yes.
Which I want to change out. So if anyone's got any recommendations, because I don't think Mooch has done his battery charger tests yet, but if anyone's got any recommendations for battery chargers, the X-Star one annoyed me greatly the other day, so I want another one. I'm going to go out and buy another one. So if you've got one that you recommend, please do let me know. If you're watching this in the after show replay thingamajig, then leave your suggestion down below. Don't send me links to where you can buy them and all that bullshit. I don't care about that. I've got Google. Just let me know which charger you suggest, because yes, this one's annoying me, so I don't like it anymore. I've fallen out of love with it.
Why?
Because well, we knew before that if you put like aftermarket wraps on your batteries, it doesn't always make a connection. If the wrap is a little bit thick, it doesn't make a connection at that positive end because it's not got a nipple as such. So that's super annoying. And the other thing that I used to really like with my D4 and D2s on the night calls was the fact that it would show you the voltage. You'd put your battery in and it would go 3.42 and you go, wallop, bosh, thank you very much, that's good to know. And this doesn't, does it?
That gives you a percentage.
I don't want a percentage.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
I'm not a percentage kind of guy. You know that, Mark. I'm a highly accurate, dedicated professional.
So who are we talking about?
so yeah, I mean, I might even go back to a D4, but no, I'd like to know if the only problem with the D4 is I think you are restricted with charging. So I'd like something that has the option of like 2 out of the 4 cells going to 2 amp charging, and we can kind of power charge through stuff, and also make sure that it fits 21700 batteries, because they only just snug into this one, and they kind of, I think I don't think the 21s actually fit in my my D4. I had that. That was a super old one. So there we go. So any more options, bang them in. That'd be great. But also, as always, if you've got any questions that you want to ask Mr. Todd or myself, start them with @VapingBiker or @Todd's Reviews, and we will do our level best to answer them. Put the question in uppercase, and we'll get into it. We'll have a go. We'll get stuck in, and where you go. While they're thinking about that, you've been watching anything good on telly? I know you struggled through Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. Jesus! I almost threw a party when I got to the end of it because it just so slow. It was so slow. I've not been watching anything else other. I don't think. Still, did you watch Life in Pieces? Have you watched that at all? Remember?
I have not.
No, see, I recommend things to you and you just ignore me.
It just didn't, the way you said it just didn't come across as very exciting.
It's okay. There's a young man asking if I'm still using a squonker, the mechanic. Yes, I still have it, and don't worry that the bottle's out, because the bottle was out because I was using it in the BAM when I was testing the BAM. So just a little plug. I have reviewed this. I do reviews occasionally.
Do them more often than I've done in the past, but I'm going to start catching you up shortly.
Aye. Watch Howard. Watch Silk. Silk, is that an old? That was an old BBC ITV drama about lawyers.
No, I think there's a more recent thing called Silk.
Is there? Probably, because I watched the lawyer one. Into the Badlands, I've caught up with that. I think that stopped for mid-season break. And also Humans. I got bored with Humans. It's got kind of slow towards the end. Legion. Legion, I couldn't even get into season 1 because I just wanted to go and smoke a joint and drop a speed bomb because it was just so fucked up. It really was. Adicune, the 100, I've caught up with that as well. I'm right up to date, and I'm right up to date with Preacher. And I'll go back to what I said at the start. Yeah, I've not been watching much.
I watched that film that I told you about that I can't remember the name of.
Terminal.
That was fantastic. I really enjoyed that the other day. Look, we've got vaping things now. Again, let's get into this one. How often should you change your charger? Asks Alex. Just whenever it needs it, or whenever you fancy something new, Alex. Really? But generally, chargers are chargers, so they're not going to kind of wear out. They're not going to go. Well, I had some night calls that for like 2 years that were going every day for 2 years and no problems at all. Campbell's asking, just curious if vaping harms cats and dogs, as my mum seems to think so, and it's got me thinking maybe it does. I've not seen any tests or studies or anything along those lines to say that it upsets hooches or pussycats.
Well, I can tell you that TJ only vapes custard at 3 milligram, and he's been vaping for 8 years, and he's perfectly healthy. So it doesn't affect dogs. I can tell you that now.
There we go then. What else have we got? My Opus BTC3100 V2.2. Fuck, that needs more numbers, doesn't it? Does 2 slots at 2 amp and fits 21700s. Good stuff, Stan. I know you're one of the patrons, so I may ask you about that when I forget tonight. So I'll ask you about that next time, so I can see about that one. Pico Squeeze, how are the buttons holding up? The buttons are okay on the Pico Squeeze. 2. I still feel very, very much the same as I felt about it last week, to be honest with you. This RDA, I said I was going to take it off last week, but I thought I'd persevere with it for a little bit, and I'm not going to persevere with it anymore. Fuck it. But it's a thing. It's a thing. Nothing's broken on it yet. I just don't like using it. What else have we got? What did I miss about the new regs? There's a lot. You'll have to go back and have a look at that one, my friend. Have you seen the new Hammer of God? I think I have. I think I've seen pictures of it on Instagram and Facebook, but I've not tried. I've never tried it. I've never had a Hammer of God, and I'd like one because that dual power series I think would be pretty beasty. But no, I've never had one, and I think I've seen it, but I've got no opinion on it at that point. Vape and Bike, Todd's Reviews. What would you suggest for someone just getting into vaping, as I'm just getting into vaping instead of smoking after the birth of my first son? So congratulations, first of all, Richard. Easy and enjoyable. That's what you need to go for. You used to work in a shop, Mark. You say what you suggest.
I wasn't listening.
You fucking bad.
I was reading other. I was making sure that nobody was trying to sell sex or say that the Basium was really big or anything like that in chat.
Richard, are you asking for suggestions on products? Because if you are, there's a bunch of kind of pod systems and easy to use tanks that are great ways of starting to get into it. The one thing that I would stress is try and go to a local vape shop and try a bunch of juices. Try and find a flavor that you really like. And don't try and focus in on getting a tobacco flavor. Just because you used to smoke Benson and Hedges doesn't mean to say you have to have a Benson and Hedges juice. In fact, I'm of the opinion that if you go very far away from that and you find you really like strawberry and custard or something like that, then that will keep you off the cigarettes for longer than if you have a tobacco juice, in my opinion. But I don't know if you agree with that, Mr. T.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I miss from a vape shop, I mean, we used to do it, was that, this is going back, but we always had CE4 set up with 3, 6, 12, 18, 24 milligram.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that when people came in, they got to vape the different strengths, so they knew what they were going to go away with. And also with the flavors, I know a lot of people probably disagree with this, but this is what we found after I found after 3 years in a vape shop, was just when you start off vaping is to vape as close to what you smoked as possible.
Yeah.
Because your taste buds are absolutely shot to hell anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not going to taste the liquid properly. So vape your tobacco, your menthol for the first, and it takes about 4 weeks. You'll wake up one morning, you'll take a vape of your tobacco, and you'll go bleh, or you might just continue vaping tobacco for the rest of your days.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Different options. I think it was either vanilla or cherry that I very first started with and was like, yep, this is it. And it got that taste of tobacco away from me, which worked out really well for me. But everyone's different. Everyone's different. Gareth Martin, what metal is the Basium made of? Zinc alloy. Is the Sense VJet 230 watt any good? I'm looking to buy a vape. I don't know what the Sense VJet is.
Yeah.
There'll be a bunch of things on YouTube for it though. So go and check those reviews out. Does vaping, especially mouth to lung, harm your tonsils? Because mine are already sore. It shouldn't do. It shouldn't do. If you're when you're mouth to lunging, I find that having a tight mouth to lung draw, it took a while to get used to kind of how hard you have to suck. Misses. Sucking too hard just strains your throat, the same as any situation where sucking too hard could be part of an issue. I don't know, but no, I mean the actual vapor doesn't harm your tonsils, to the best of my knowledge and any studies that I've seen. But it's just that it's the process of doing it. So try not to suck so hard. Try and be a little bit softer. Anyway.
Yes.
I love my Basium Superstar, but I'm finding the top metal gets hot. That's because we've got because there's no kind of protrusion for the 510. The heat from your top cap from your RDA will get transferred to the mod, but it doesn't upset the board. So that's why it's in a separate compartment. Right. What else? Are we going to see Mr. Togg's doggy this week? I think we all found out recently that the only reason people subscribe to you is because of TJ.
Yeah, it's quite worrying actually. I sent on our Facebook pages you can get analytics and graphs and whatnot, and I had my top posts for the month, and I had double the interaction on a video of TJ than any of my vaping related posts.
You're gonna have a practice and get TJ in every thumbnail and see if that helps.
It's just you wonder.
Trying to get a mouth to lung RTA working Vapefly Galaxy, but not sure if the flavor is outputting is right. Seems weak and a bit crap. I'm used to direct to lung. Now then, this is where me and Mr. Todd have in the past butt horns, so to speak, because I've always said more vapor equals more stuff going into your mouth carrying flavor, ergo more flavor. He's always been of the opinion that you get more flavor from a mouth to lung, but I think he's coming around to my way of thinking now.
I don't think that, like just now, the way I'm vaping and all of my stuff, I'm 35 watts, I'm 34 watts, and I mean, I usually my comfortable place to vape is 20 to 25 watts. But obviously when I'm reviewing stuff like Dead Rabbits, Drop Deads and things like that, I'm up about 50, 60. I do think with a bigger chamber, this is obviously we disagree in this, but obviously I think with a bigger chamber, yes, you need more power. You go through more juice, but it doesn't mean that you're getting less flavor. I think on a mouth to lung, you can turn down your wattage. You're not going through as much juice, but depends on the ATI, but it's not as clear cut as I used to think it was.
No,
not by a long shot. It really isn't.
Absolutely. So what some people will say is drop the VG content, so go more for a 50-50 or a 60 VG 40 PG, because PG will carry that flavoring better than a VG does. So you might have more of a satisfying flavor if you have a higher PG content, and not just have a nice strong flavor in there as well. if you can make your own juice, then you can have a little play about and see what works for you. But then if you've got thinner, then you might have more challenges when it comes to wicking. So just be aware of that when you're playing around.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion. Now then, what else have we got? Have you seen any questions for you?
Vaping Biker. This is aimed directly at you. They didn't ask me, thank God. Vaping Biker, does temperature affect flavor?
Yes, and that was the whole reason for the replay function on the DNA mods that come out now. What Evolve did is they did a bunch of looking into kind of what levels different flavorings will sort of atomize. Is it atomize? No, aerosol. I don't know. Will turn into an aerosol. And they found that different flavors would affect or would change depending on how much temperature was going through them. So certain flavors would kind of be punchier at lower, and I think kind of, is it like citrus flavors that are generally punchier at lower things? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's like lemon crack. That it's basically citrusy that I like to vape. It's and we used to say this in the vape shops all the time. People were saying that this juice doesn't taste right. I'm not getting that out of it. You would find that they had, say, a custard and they were vaping it at 80 watts, and that you just wouldn't get the taste from it. So that's why we always adjust to taste.
Absolutely. So yes, don't be too concerned with numbers. Just go with what feels right. Obviously, stay within the confines of safety, but do that. How's the DIY journey going thus far? Any new mixes? No new mix. Well, I'm not really DIY, but I've made some Twister from Darkstar, which is a one shot, which is actually rather nice. But I will be on the Fresh 03 show on Saturday because it's going to force me to do a mix again. So there we go. So
I saw he did a review for you.
He did.
Yeah.
I love Fresh. He's such a sweet guy.
He's a nice lad.
Right, Dean and Todd, what's your opinion on Nick salts? I'm yet to try them, and other than Dr. Salt's stuff, which I've used in some pod systems and what have you, I'm yet to try them in kind of proper stuff. Although Matt from Suck My Mod did a very interesting video the other day where he felt that Nick salts like a 3 milligram equivalent on a direct to lung makes him a bit more coffee than normal. But I've not really tried it, so I don't really know. Have you tried Nick salts yet?
Yeah, I've got some here that I've been I've been trying it in my little 18350 Caravella type tank thing here.
Yeah.
And it's just, for me, it's just it feels, and I know it probably is, excuse how I'm going to phrase this, but it's the easiest way for me to explain. It's just like vaping a really high nicotine strength without the harshness. That's it.
Yeah.
But the problem for me on that is that you forget you're vaping a really high nicotine strength, and you end up vaping it like you would, say, a 3 milligram, and you end up falling flat in your arse.
Yeah, I think Nick salts have to be more focused towards mouth to lung, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's Louis says that's the whole point, Mark. Yes, thank you for confirming that what I said was correct. However, I feel you were taking the piss out of me.
Raj, when's TJ gonna lock Mark in the shed again? I think Mark busted out, so that's not an option now.
That's not an option. No, the door's actually buggered now, so it's not happening.
Sick boy, do you find after DIY that commercial juices are just too sweet? No, because I've got terrible taste buds at the best of times, but I like a really sweet juice. Any of the mixes that I've made that I regularly vape are usually pretty powerful in your face kind of flavors, because I like that, and I obviously have a lot more airflow in a lot of the things that I use, although not wide open, and so quite a sweet juice worked well for me.
I'll answer a quick question from Grant McKenzie. The Revolution Squad London mechs, where did they come from? Not from London, I can tell you that. I haven't heard from them in a long time, but basically, I think they were made. I think they were made in China, but they had an office in the UK, or they had a mailbox in the UK, and that's kind of how it worked. They just had London in the name of the company, just to, yeah.
Were they the ones that were like, oh, if you're a man about town and you've got a suit on and fucking this will suit you?
That's them. Yeah, that's them. So there's one.
I'm looking for a mech mod with a screen. Do they exist? No, because if they had a screen, they would not be a mech mod. Grow fish grow. There are some options when it comes to regulated mech mod. So a tube mod, but with a screen in it. There was a recent one recently. Did UD do it? Who did it? So there was one that everyone was screaming about being really good recently.
And it was at the 101.
Might be. I can't remember. Super affordable and like, I don't know, 70 watt or something like that.
Yeah, it was almost like an equivalent of the Danny, the die codes. It was EH Pro 101.
There we go. So that's something to go and check out on YouTube. Go and check out some reviews of that little bad boy. And there you go. Boom. I think I've talked about this before, but I remember my Beck Pro, which I think was a Smock product many years ago. And at that point, I was like, I am never going to box mods. Box mods are ugly. They're horrible in the hand. Just know I'm always going to stick with tubes. And something like this is regulated. It's brilliant. And that all went horribly well.
Yeah.
Do you plan to review the 38mm RDA by Vapor Cloud? I've got no plans to. I haven't got one. Not saying I wouldn't, but I've got no plans to. I've got no plans to. That's been one of the funny things when it comes to the Basium. People go like, oh, if it's at a centered 510, then it'll be all right. Well, yes, but then it'd be the size of a drone, and everyone would whinge about that. But also, there's about 7 30mm RDAs on the planet that people would be using on it, so it's a little bit different to the plethora of other RDAs that fit on there just fine. Right, good. Danielle is ordering a Basium now. Fantastic. I think I was seeing earlier on that someone was offering us suggestions for places in America. So jobs are good. Nice to know that they're over there. The Nunchaku is regulated as well. I got offered that, but turned it down. Basium is perfect, says Raj. Absolutely. Is there a way to tell the metal of a coil without believing what it is described as, since this can be wrong? No, not really.
No.
Stainless tends to be a little bit shinier, but once it's fired up, then you're not really going to be able to tell. So no, not really. It's all about the resistance. The best thing to do if you're unsure is if you know the coil is 5 wraps and it's over a 3mm, then go to Steam Engine and you can kind of see what the resistance would come out at if it was Canthal, N80 or stainless, and see which one it kind of correlates to when you fire it up. That's your best way of doing it.
Just like to point out, the Steel Beast 1000 is saying that because a lot of people are suggesting the magnet test, but magnets aren't a surefire way of testing. They really aren't.
Absolutely. Right. Can you get the Basium in Ireland yet? I don't know of any Irish retailers that have picked it up as yet. However, I think some of the distros that are in the UK do also supply over there, but I don't know of anyone as yet. It's still very early days with the Basium. So as I know more shops are getting them, then I'll make sure that they go on that webpage on vapingbiker.co.uk.
Yeah.
Good. Right. I think we're some stainless steels are not magnetic. Yeah, absolutely, Diddy. Some, but not all. So it depends on. I think, isn't it like with? Because I had this in the engineering company I used to work at. The friction during machining and like with coiling, with like the getting it onto a reel and all that sort of stuff, that can generate a certain magnetic field.
Yeah.
There we go. Look. See, you learn something here. Fucking what?
Science, bitch. Science.
Oh yes. Oh.
If it's not, we'll just make it up and repeat it several times until we sound convincing.
Damn straight. Now, Australia needs the Basium. Australia's getting the Basium. If you go and look on that webpage, you'll see the company that is getting it. Jobs are flipping good. Right. What coils would you vape in a mouth-to-lung RDA? A lot of the time, Canthal. I will vape stainless because I like stainless in everything, but just straight Canthal is always good to go. Mark's old school, so he's Canthal all the way, right?
I'm always Canthal, unless, of course, unless I'm using coils from Pilgrim Vapes.
He's a Canthal anyway.
I know, I'm just trying to get a plug-in.
All right, fair enough, crack on.
He may use other wires, I'm not sure. But I wouldn't recommend him because he never sends you biscuits when he says he's going to.
That's right. You can recommend him, and I'll recommend MTN Tom for some honking great big aliens, which I used some aliens of his in the review for the X RDA that I did the other day. So, and they're splendid.
It was fun. I was talking to David the other day, and he says, "I'm going to send you some coils." I said, "You best not, mate." Because if you send me some, then I would stop slagging you off. It's a lot. He probably gets more promotion taking the piss than he does actually showing his coils off.
But they are great mouth-to-lung coils. We just don't tell him we said that. I haven't seen him in chat, and he's usually written a book by now. So there we go. Oh no, there he is. Whoops. Oh dear. Anyway, moving on. Savor RTA or Berserker RDA for flavor. I would, out of the two, if it's any RTA versus an RDA, I would always go with an RDA personally. I'd always go for a dripper over a tank. But they're both very, very good. You, Mr. T, are you gonna argue on that one?
No, I've not got the energy. Really not.
Fair enough.
Obviously, because I'm better looking than you. By default, I'm going to be right. But
yeah, but I got a beard. So. M16 says, congrats on the bus, you mate. I'm loving my green one. Cheers, matey. Thank you very much indeed. Right, I think we've gone for like an hour and 45, so I think that's more than enough for anybody to have to put up with. If you've managed to get to this level on the replay, then fair play to you. So don't forget, if you've got to this point and you are on the replay, leave your comments down below about the your suggestion for charges. I'm always interested to hear that, or if you've got any comments on anything that we've discussed throughout this video this evening. Final question for DNNS84. Which upcoming ATTI's mods are you excited about, looking forward to a review? Is there anything that you're kind of that is tweaking you in your underpants at the moment?
I really, I'll be honest, and I never thought I would say this. Over the past 4 years, I never ever thought I would say this ever again. I am actually looking forward to reviewing the Spade.
Yeah,
I'm quite surprised. I'm actually quite surprised by that, and those that know me will know that why I'm surprised about saying that. But I'm also really excited about showing off this thing, just because it's completely batshit crazy and it's going to upset a lot of people, and that always makes me happy.
Yeah. I too am excited about showing that off, because I think it's such an eye-catching mod. And I know a lot of people don't like these surrounds going around the screen and the buttons, but I think that just, it kind of goes with the big vicious ant sign in the middle there.
No, it reminds me of who's the really high-end guy in the UK. I forgot his name again.
Todd?
The
that fella, the focus guy.
Yeah, oh god, that's going to so bug me now that I can't remember the name of the company. But he used to.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about. I thought we were leading up to taking the piss out of someone. Carry on.
No. It was a mod maker in the UK. He makes one mod like every 6 months type thing.
Oh yeah, I know who you mean.
And one of his things was putting the stainless steel or silver. I mean, that's like the that's oh my god, I've forgotten the name. Shit, are you written on it? Amber Mods.
Amber, okay.
Amber Mods, they've got a silver frame round there, and and that's actual silver button. So it used to always be a sign of a really classy mod, and I think it's smart. I do like it. I think
I do. I mean, you can't get away from the fact that it's an expensive mod. It's not mass produced like a China mod, but there are a few of them produced. But it is a pricey mod, but it is very, very sexy, and I like the thing to get the battery out as well.
Yeah, that's very clever. It's actually really. I won't go on. Ask me how long it took me to figure that one out.
Give away, really.
I had the keyboard out, fucking bastards. Why doesn't my battery fit in my mouth?
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that makes me so happy. Right, good. So I think we're probably done. Zach, yes, your question is being answered in chat already with My Freedom Smokes. Sorry I haven't said hello to you, Addy Junie. I didn't see you in here for ages, my friend. I meant to say hello when Todd mentioned you. So hello, sir. I'll see you on Saturday. Good. I think we're good to go. I think yeah. Look, see what he's done here, look, people. What's that all about?
What would that?
A beauty filter isn't going to help you.
It's not. I was going for me. This is what I used to look like when I was 21.
Right. So, are we going to do it? Yes, you can do it. No, get ready for the build-up. All right. Just you've done this enough times now, so you know when we're not going to fuck about. We're just going to get it done. So,
no, that's right, because you're a prick. I just remembered. I never cast this up and mentioned this last week. That was shit. That was actually very good. That was very good.
I'm not gonna cut it before we see you, Clyde, just because you're vaping on a horn and it's marvelous. So thank you everyone for joining us this Monday Night Live. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope you've learned a little bit of something and realized that vaping isn't all going to the dogs in the UK, but also there's stuff. There's things about how hard you suck. There's things about horns. There's things about of all manner of bits and bobs in this little one tonight. So hopefully there's been something for everybody. We look forward to seeing you. We'll be back again next week. If you do want to support the channel, I don't take queue jumps, I don't take any money along those lines, so feel free to go across to the Patreon if you want to support the channel monthly. If not, there is a paypal.me link in the description down below as well, so you can go and throw some support my way if you see fit. Just helps keep the lights on, you know, it's easy.
Yeah.
But on that one, thank you so much for joining us. We've had a good time, hope you have as well. So Mark, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Camera is on you.
Okay.
It's not going to help you. Right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us. We will see you all next week. Have it larger.